Guys, welcome back. This is part 2, the new video on actually reassembling everything on this 23 CRF250R. If you haven't watched the first video of me actually disassembling it, me and Pap, the master mechanic, making sure we just get everything done right, I highly recommend you click up there and check that video out. But today, we're reassembling everything, we're getting everything back in working order, making sure everything's organized, and then we're going to, should be pretty easy to put everything back together as long as we take our time. Hey, you're ready, Pap, right?
Yep, we're ready to go.
All right, let's do this. So what are we doing here?
We're measuring the end gap on the rings. So I've used the piston to square the ring up within the cylinder.
Okay.
And we're going to measure the gap there between at the end of it.
Okay, so where the ring meets, gotcha. Yep. To make sure that the gap of the cylinder hasn't wore a bunch.
Yes. That one's pretty snug.
Okay, and that's 0.18 millimeter?
Yep.
Of the end gap. So we went through and printed out what the end gap is for this, and it says 0.15 to 0.25, and then it should actually match up really well.
The 18 millimeter?
Yep.
The 0.18 millimeter.
Okay.
I'm going to stick the 0.20 in there and see what it does.
Okay, so trying a little thicker.
It goes in, but it is really, really snug.
So it looks like we're good then for
good
end gaps. Okay,
yep.
Cool. Now we're also checking all the other end gaps too. So we have the oiler rings, so we got to do all those, but I figured I didn't want to bore you guys doing end gaps. Make sure you check your end gaps before you install your new piston. Okay, Pat, what did we just do?
We just put the first circlip in for the wrist pin here, and if you look, it's inside the groove there.
I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It's that little pin in there. So we're gonna get the other one in on the actual bike, which ought to be very fun. This one took at least 15 minutes to get it in, so can't imagine how hard this is gonna be. Okay, well, I got the piston on after probably 30 minutes of trying to figure out, probably not 30, but trying to figure out how to get these little pins in that actually hold the wrist pin in. Took quite a bit, didn't it, Pap?
Yep.
But now we're gonna install gaskets and then get the cylinder and everything else back on, and I'll video that. Okay, Pap, so we got the cylinder head on, right?
The cylinder is on. We don't have
the
head on yet, but the cylinder's on, piston's in, everything's good.
Got it all seated right. That was challenging, but we got it. So, cool. Let's move on to putting the head on. Head on, yep, getting the head on, which is over there. That's gonna be real fun. So, here's the bottom, what the valves look like. What do you think what do you say, Pap?
I think they look good. They got a little bit of carbon buildup right there, and right there, and a little bit right inside there.
Yeah.
But I think they look good overall.
I do too. Black, but that's how they should be. All right, we got it on. Got everything on here. We're torquing everything down. We just got the 4 main bolts up here. Got all those torqued down.
35 foot-pounds?
Yeah, 35 foot-pounds. It took quite a bit to get there, but we took our time. We got it in. These 2 bolts on to get it all sealed up. And now we're going to do the little nitpicky stuff, and then once we get to the actual good stuff, I'll video that. So, all right, quick little update. So we got the actual, like I said, we've got the head back on. We've got all these parts. So there's a bunch of different moving parts that go in here. We've got there's a cap here, there's this here, tons of other stuff to actually put back on and make sure that it actually is where it was in the beginning. So there's 2 lines here that actually line up, and they should go fully level across here. And they're on these gears, and you have to make sure they're lined up well. We had to make sure that when we put the gears back in, they were going the right way, which they are now, but it took a hot minute to get the gears in the chain. And so, but that's good because there's cams that run all the way through here. So now it's just a matter of getting everything buttoned back up. Now I'm gonna put the valve cover back on and get the seal on it. And then we're guys, so we got it all done for the day. We're gonna take a break now. It's almost dark, so gotta go eat some dinner, you know the deal. But we got the valve cover back on. So today we got cylinder, everything honed out, ready to go. Pretty fun process just to learn how everything gets put back together. And I can't wait to get everything fully put back together tomorrow. But so far we spent probably about 5 to 6 hours on this, and we already got it back together. I'm fully confident that we did this right. Got all the right things put back together. The valve cover, I cleaned it up too. But yeah, so that's it for today, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Update, it's the next day. We've got the throttle body back on. We went through and actually to all the electrical connections, put dielectric grease on them. So that way, we already have it apart. Might as well do that just to keep them nice, the connection really well. We got the throttle body back on. Now, before we turn it over, Pat, you can go ahead and give your whole lowdown on what you did.
I just pulled the cover off there, put the ratchet on the crank. I turned it about 3 or 4 complete revolutions just to make sure everything's going good, no unusual sounds or anything.
Okay.
Now we'll hook the battery up to it and just crank it over, get some oil pressure built up in it before we start it.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
I just want to bump it is all you want to do.
All right.
Keep going. Keep going. Let it go 2 or 3 revolutions now. Okay, we're good.
All right.
Tighten up the head bolts, hanger bolts that go to the head. At 20, we're going to start at 20 and then go 20, 30, 35, and then 40.
We got everything pretty much back together. Actually, I just forgot a piece. But yeah, I think overall, stuff was pretty easy. I'll do a full interview at the end of what we thought about it. But yeah, we got everything done. Exhaust is back on. Only thing we have to do is put plastics back on, essentially. So one other thing we have to do is put coolant in it. We have to go get that. Other than that, she's ready to start up and fire up. So cross our fingers, it starts up. As you saw, we cranked it over. No sounds we're making. So hopefully that's a good sign that we're good to go. So yeah, I'm very nervous. Hopefully it will start. So is Pat. I'm very nervous, but that kind of gave us peace of mind to crank it over, at least safely, and we didn't hear any sounds. So we went through, made sure everything's ready to go, everything's torqued. We did it the right way, took our time. So now it's just a matter of putting coolant in it. Hopefully the next clip you see is it running. So okay, so well, we got her done, hopefully. Now here's the moment of truth, if it actually starts or not. So I think we're confident, but we need to be optimistic too. So, well, here goes nothing. You ready?
Yep. Now restart it again.
It's cold, so it's not. It needs to be choked.
That's okay. Just leave it shut off now.
Woo! We did it! Yes! That's victory right there. All right, so we're done. It starts, as you saw the video, super, super happy. I really have no complaints about taking it apart and putting it together, reassembling everything. It really worked great. You know, like I can't stress enough, please take your time when you're doing stuff like this. It can really go wrong super fast, but honestly, such a great rebuild. Really easy to do, honestly, if you just follow what you're doing. Yeah, if you guys like this video, I try to make it pretty instructional so you guys could see what I'm doing. It's pretty common sense, most of it, but yeah, I can't wait to see what we can do with this bike this season, and I'm really looking forward to what we can do. So now we got it ready to go, and so yeah, I can't thank Pap enough. What do you think about it, Pap?
I think it went easier than I had anticipated. This is my first 4-stroke dirt bike motor to take apart. I've done several 2-strokes. Yep. We followed the book and the torque specs and measured everything, and I think it's good for the bike to have 80 hours on it. I was super impressed with the lack of wear on the cylinder, cleanliness of everything inside the head, very little carbon. Keeping the oil changed and air filters changed are the keys to the longevity of any motor. For sure. And this one definitely shows it, so good job to you to keeping everything changed and cleaned up.
Thank you. I mean, I really couldn't have done it without Pap, so I thank Pap greatly. He's the one that's always here, always been here, so hopefully he'll be making more features in the videos this year, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. So thank you guys for watching. What do they do, Pap?
Our usual goodbye?
Yeah, they're like, comment, subscribe.
Oh, like, comment, subscribe. Sorry.
There you go. All right, well, have a good one, guys. That's it.